What's up, guys? This is Ray. Welcome to Asian Filmist, and we're here to talk about the 1989 Japanese movie Tetsuo, the Iron Man, directed by Tsukamoto Shinya and starring Taguchi Tomorowo. Tetsuo, the Iron Man. It's one of those. If you look at a lot of top 10 Japanese horror movies to check out, Tetsuo will definitely rank up there, in those top 10 lists, and that acknowledgement is rightfully deserved. Tetsuo, long story short, it's a short movie, but it is amazing. It's definitely one of the most unique Japanese movies I have ever seen. Even though it was shot, it was made in 1989 and it was shot in black and white, but that definitely added more to its atmosphere when it came to displaying visuals that are gritty, that are violent, and just dark, and with a lot of high contrast. And yeah, I think everything about it was just crafted perfectly. But let's dive into the story about Tetsuo. It's about, I don't think many of these characters are actually given names, but it's about this man, his girlfriend, and this fanatic or this fetishist. I forget exactly what he's labeled as. But this fetishist, you kind of see him in the beginning. He implants some metal into his body, and then he kind of runs outside, and then he gets involved in a car accident with Taguchi Tomorrow's character, the man, and his girlfriend, and they kind of just leave him on the side of the road, and they just kind of carry on, go back home. But then, unbeknownst to the man, he gets infected with something that this fetishist was. That this fetishist had, because he was so he implants a lot of metal into his body. The man becomes infected with this technovirus that slowly mutates his body into junk metal. Well, not just junk metal, but many parts of his body just transform into machinery. And it's just gnarly. It's just like you kind of are with him the whole way through as he dives into insanity. And that's one of the positive things I have to say, is that this movie, it starts off kind of, not calm, but still weird and awkward, but calm. But then it gradually gets more and more insane. You start off, when he starts going through this mutation, he starts hearing scraping metal coming from different actions that his girlfriend makes, and then eventually parts of his body start becoming, just like I said, just becomes junk metal. Like spikes start protruding out of his face, so he can't really shave. He cuts his fingers because he's trying to figure out what's popping out of his face. And it leads to all sorts of very violent situations, including a very memorable bedroom scene with him and his girlfriend. And when it comes to the visuals in Tetsuo, man, are they amazing! It's a lot of the craft. I feel like it's very similar to what we see in a lot of tokusatsu work, Kamen Rider and Super Sentai, except it's made obviously for a horror sci-fi kind of story. And the way everything is just huge. It's not like, it doesn't look cheesy at all. I think that's what the black and white attributes to that. It doesn't make the special effect, the visual effects, look any cheesy. As a matter of fact, it just looks even darker and even more gruesome, if you will. And especially when there are some moments that showcase the man, and also he meets up later with the fetishist again, who's also mutated. And when because this movie doesn't really apply any big budget special effects, they kind of have to make do with the kind of resources they have. And so when it shows them gliding across the street and flying, they do so in kind of this super high frame rate, time lapse, slow motion kind of way. And it looks gnarly. It's like, what's going on? You can almost think that you're high just watching it. It's like, it's kind of hard to see what's going on half the time. But, it's just amazing the way everything was put together. And also the violence is not for the weak of heart. Even though it's shot in black and white, you feel each and every kind of piercing of metal to skin. It's even though it's black and white, it's just hard to take sometimes with this movie. But as I mentioned earlier, there's that scene, that memorable bedroom scene. Then there's even the beginning scene, which I described in the beginning of this video, where you meet the fetishist and he's implanting this metal rod into his leg. It's like, oof, damn, that hurts. And everything, just the way it's put together, it does a great job of conveying a legit feeling of terror. I mean, there's this scene when the man accidentally infects someone with this technovirus, and it changes them into this beastly mutation, and it starts chasing them, starts chasing the man through the train station, and it's a pretty frightening scene. Yeah, like not only that, but just the way the atmosphere was put together. I don't know how to describe it, but it just felt just insane. You know, you dive into insanity at the same kind of rate the main character does. And this is enhanced not only with the performances of all the characters, who I think did an exceptional job, and also the music. I think there's only like 2, maybe 3 tracks that repeat throughout the course of this movie, and I think they highlight the atmosphere perfectly. As far as the negatives I have to say about Tetsuo, there's really only one, and is that at times it's a bit hard to follow. You know, I described the crazy camera work. The crazy camera work, I think if you're not prepared for it, it can definitely be a bit dizzying. I personally liked it, but I can see how many people might be turned off by it. But not only that, but the way the movie kind of portrays different memories. You know, it tells some events in a non-chronological order, and it's kind of hard to know if you're in a flashback or if you're in current times. It doesn't, you know, you watch it twice, you can kind of see it, you can kind of catch it from there. But on the first viewing, it's kind of hard to catch those kinds of details. But overall, what do I have to say about Tetsuo? It's a bloody amazing movie. You know, you can definitely feel that it's just raw and low budget, but the kind of techniques that this movie utilizes, the way it's crafted together, and the techniques that it uses to get around its low budget, everything was just executed wonderfully. It's a movie I feel that needs to be watched more than once in order to fully understand what's going on. But also, no matter how many times you watch it, I don't think it gets any less spine-tingling, just horrific and terrifying. You know, I feel like this movie just progressively gets better with each watch through. So yes, I highly recommend it, especially if you're a fan of not only Japanese horror and science fiction horror, but also body horror. This movie excels in all of that. And yeah, definitely check it out if you want something unique and wacky. But yes, those are my thoughts on Tetsuo the Iron Man. What did you guys think? Please let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. And if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. And if you really dig my content, please know you can support Asian Films via Patreon from as little as $1. And yeah, that's about it for me, guys. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Hope to catch you all again in the next video. Take it easy.